We've already created our panel enclosure and we've put our push button, pilot light and nameplate footprints in there. What we need to start thinking about now is the schematic for this particular panel that we've set up. I've already set up a drawing there. I'll just click on Save. And as you can see there, when I click on Save, JIC panel schematic. What we need to do is add the active drawing to our project. So I go there, right click, add active drawing, apply the project default values as usual. Right click properties, drawing properties, change the sheet number there to 005. And OK that will update. Now, I'm just using a blank drawing in this particular instance. I'm not too worried about exact things here. I'm showing you how to do this. You would obviously have a title block and make it look completely professional. What I'm going to do, though, is just put a wiring ladder in and show you how you link your components back to your panel. So that's what we've got to look at first of all. So let's have a look at our wiring loom. Now, before we do that, go to the Home tab. Check the layers because you've applied the project settings there. There's the wires layer. Let's make sure it's there. And what I will do as well to make it stand out, change the color. Maybe make it a red, for example, so that when I draw anything on that wires layer, it's red. So let's go back to the schematic tab and I want a wiring ladder here. Now remember, I'm using JIC, which obviously is in inches. So we don't want 400 inches there, for example. That's a throwback to a previous project setting. I'm going to make it 12 inches with a spacing each time of 2 inches, like so. And notice it's defaulting to horizontal, which is part of the project and drawing settings. And I'll say that I want, let's say, 11 rungs. Now, as soon as I put 11 rungs in there and press tab, that'll update and it will change the length because it's looked at these width and spacing settings here. If I change that to, say, 6 rungs and then press tab, the length updates again. So there's my spacing. So as long as you've got a spacing and a length and put your 6 rungs in, that's how it would work. That width will be that way. Do you see what's happening there? Look at the little pictures if you don't get it. Length is 11 and I want 6 rungs. Spacing 2 between each rung. So I'll calculate the length for you. Okay, so I click on OK there. It's one phase. Draw rungs, yes please. Click. And it will put all that in for me. Very simple wiring ladder. I'm not going into too much detail here. We now need to go over here to insert components and our icon menu. This is for schematics. So if I go push buttons there, I want a push button. There's my push button. Now I'm just going to put snap and grid on and zoom in. And you'll see that that lines nicely in with my grid there. So I'm just putting in my push button there. And it's push button 001. Now I can go to panel and it will find panel, push button, they're all in there. So if I select a push button and OK that, there you go. It brings in the information from the panel that I've already used. So I'll OK that now, and that all updates for me. There's my push button. It numbers 001 as per the project and drawing settings. So that is how I'm setting up my panel schematic. So if I zoom out a little bit now, and what I'll do is I'll move along to, say, this rung of the ladder here. I go back to the icon menu, and this time I'm going to go for, let's say, pilot lights. There's my pilot lights there. I'll go for, let's say, a standard light, and I want a red light. And I'm just going to drop that in there, line it in with my push button, and again I go to panel. There's my pilot lights. So I'll just select that one there, 004, and I'll OK that. Again, can you see it's pulled it in from the manufacturer's catalog? Everything is cataloging because I'm linking it back to the panel. So if I OK that now, there's my pilot light. Now, I might want to edit that attribute a little bit there. It's gone a little bit wayward. So what I'll do is I'll click there, right click, attribute, and move the attribute. It's asking me to select the attribute to move or pick on the block graphics for list. I'm going to click on that one there. Again, you might want to take snap and grid off when you do this. It makes life a little bit easier. Click there, right click to confirm, click for base point, and I'm going to place that there. Much neater, and then press enter to finish. It just tidies up the drawing. I'm being a bit pedantic about tidiness there, considering the simplicity of this particular drawing, but when you've got a really complicated electrical drawing, there's nothing worse than text attributes all over the place and you can't see the wood for the trees. Use those tools, make it tidy. So what you're doing there is you're building up your schematic for your panel using the panel information that's already installed in the panel in the project. It's very, very easy to do. All you've got to do is use that panel button. So I'll show you one more time. I'll go to the icon menu and we'll go for a push button again. And what I'll do, I'll go for the push button, normally open, snap and grid on. Line it in like so. Go to panel. There's the panel there. So I go for, let's say, the next one down. Push button. I OK it. Brings in the manufacturer's details. Click on OK. And it updates. Sequentially, it's obviously push button 002 this time, because obviously it's the next one along in the numbering that we've set up in both the project settings and the drawing settings. So you see how that works. It ties everything together, and you see how intelligent that is once you've already built up your panel.